Are you fed up listening to 20-year-olds telling you how to look young? Because I know I am. Get out of it! But the rest of you, come in, you're welcome. Welcome back to Shepherd's Bush, the unofficial headquarters of the monitoring of all internet trivia. You know, women have been targets for the beauty industry for years. I mean, they were the only targets at one point. But it seems that particular industry is now moving its attention to men. It started quite innocently, like, are you finding brow cream no longer brings you luck with the ladies? Well, try this, because you need to. But they've really upped the ante now, and like men have access to Botox and cheek implants and pec implants. And the latest one is penis implants. Oh, it makes my eyes water just thinking about it. And good luck with that one as you pole vault past the local playground. I mean, it must be very popular because before lockdown, when I travelled on the underground, every tube was full of guys sitting legs akimbo. So clearly it's a popular procedure. But, you know, good luck. And welcome to the crazy world of beauty. It's strange having all this free time, and this week again I have been working on my memoir, visiting a crazy time when I was young and I started having my period. My mother ran that whole situation like a Bond movie. I mean, she would have given him a run for his money. Everything had to be done secretly without my dad or my brothers knowing anything about it. So there was this whole routine of looks, nods and winks to let her know that it was that time of the month and we had to put the operation into action. So it was like, you know, catch her attention across a crowded room. So she would then leave the supplies in the cupboard upstairs in the bathroom under the sink where it was all boxed in, and that was newspapers to wrap the used towels, and then at night, you know, another signal for stuff to be removed, and she'd burn them in the fire. And it was just absolutely crazy because, you know, when you think about it, there really is no need for all that because it's a fairly integral part of the continuation of the human race, so it's quite good that boys find out about that as early as possible. But obviously it was something she was just too embarrassed to discuss, or not discuss, but it had to be kept secret. It was women's secret business. Things have changed since then, obviously, and sanitary products are advertised on TV like everything else. But I remember the first big advert that was launched, and it was the camera close-up lady bums climbing ladders and skiing and jumping off diving boards into swimming pools, you know, the premise being you can do anything. Thank God we got permission. But the backing track to it was a really loud sort of rock. Body farm for you. And when I saw it, I thought, oh God, my mum, she's going to have a seizure when she sees this. The lengths that she went to run this covert operation, and now it was out in the open. It was so funny. But anyway, there you go. Life does change. Things move. Sometimes for the better. That's certainly for the better. But my time indoors is becoming even harder to find stuff to stimulate and to amuse because, you know, you only have to look at the daily update, the COVID update, and the robots coming out giving us all, you know, the latest get out of jail card. The good news this week is we can all now go to the races. So I think that people who have been out of work, you know, freelancers, people on no term, no contracts, 0-hour contracts, these kind of people must be really heartened that now they can just call their chauffeur and be driven down to the nearest racing course, and you know, something for them. I mean, really, they can't complain because they've already been given back their fishing rights and they can play tennis and golf any time they like. So what is the problem? And now we are being advised to wear face masks. I wonder if we had done that earlier. Anyway, I'm not in politics, so it's not for me to tell these people how to do their job. I did, however, see Michel Barnier on TV the other day, and oh, it was so nice to see him. It's such a long time since I've seen a political statesman. You know, it's just fantastic to see somebody, you know, who seems to know what he's talking about. I mean, he was on, because Brexit has briefly resurrected itself in the European Union, because obviously they, like everybody else, have been dealing with their own COVID issues, so they haven't really had time for what's going on over here in Blighty. But he was talking about how our government has reneged on agreements already reached. And the interesting thing was, he was actually surprised. He obviously hasn't been keeping up with what's going on over here, but you know, there you go. I suppose, you know, in the European sovereign states, they are still being governed by humans. They haven't gone over to the robot side yet. But that's, you know, I mean, we seem to have fully embraced artificial intelligence here, although the names about artificial intelligence, the artificial's okay, I'm beginning to have a bit of an issue with the other part of it. That might actually need a bit of reworking. They might need to come up with a new name for that. But, you know, so it goes on. We just have to wait and see the cull of the frail and the elderly, and, you know, continues. And one of the robots was talking about how we don't really need to, they're not going to enforce masks because in shops and things we don't actually queue in there, we don't spend a lot of time in there. And it was quite clear from what he was saying that he doesn't spend a lot of time queuing to get into a supermarket and queuing to get out of a supermarket. So they're kind of out of touch. It's a bit like saying the underground isn't overcrowded. Well, you wouldn't know if it was or not as your chauffeur driven past. You don't know what's going on underground, you know, but they have their mission, and, you know, keeping their money safe, and we just have to trust that they know what they're doing, and it's not really got much to do with us. Enough. I could go on about this all day, but I won't. So I still, my beautiful saw is still in lockdown. I don't know what I'm going to do about that, but when I do practice, and I just kind of mime, because I want to keep my cellular memory up for when I can actually perform again. So today I will play something for you again, and I was trying to make this a little bit more interesting, so I kind of got in touch with Ed Sheeran's management people, because I thought maybe we could do something, you know, you could join me on screen, you know, and we could maybe do a sort of duet type thing together. But, you know, they haven't got back to me, so I'll just do my own thing. But I don't really know why, because I would have thought he'd have jumped at the chance to do something with me here and reach a wider audience, but, you know, that's his choice. So I shall give you my own arrangement and perhaps unrecognisable rendition of Alleluia by Leonard Cohen. So I hope you enjoy. Mm.